Just a quick one for you tonight, guys. Don't want to be talking about this game too long. As usual, get in on the discussion down in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything that I've said. Habs or Leafs fan, I don't care. I'll read it regardless. Now, quite honestly, if there's any game this season I could not care any less about losing, it's by far and away this one. The Habs, 4 games in 6 nights. Banged up, they're clearly exhausted, missing some key players, Gallagher, Weber, and I'm not making excuses. These are just facts, people. Meanwhile, the Leafs, fresh, 2 games, and the Habs play their third string goalie, who happens to have an absolutely terrible first period. Now, granted, in his defense, his defenseman didn't, help him out too well either, with some giveaways into with a really bad giveaway to Tavares for the second goal on the night. But we play this team again Saturday night, and I'm hoping we see a little bit more animosity and intensity from both teams. Like, I don't know what it's been since the first game of the season. It's just been really tame. I was hoping this rivalry would pick up a little bit more. Both teams need to, play with a bit more emotion, start to hate each other a little bit. That's what I'm hoping for. And we got upwards of likely 7 games against this team in the playoffs. That's when this matchup really matters. Now, what I will say is I'm not pleased again with the Habs start. Again, just lack of energy to start in a game. Now, granted, even though they're exhausted, you should have some energy in the tank to start a game, and they didn't. And of course, it's Galchenyuk who gets up on the board for the Leafs first. Bit of a fluky goal, let's be honest here. Just a bunch of weird bounces. Happens to get his stick on it in the slot, in the scramble. And Primo just did not look good there on that one whatsoever. Leafs then go up to 2-0 on the Tavares goal. Shortly after that, Phil Deneau leaves for the Habs, and that's the huge story here. Hopefully he was just playing through an injury and had to leave, or maybe he's got some sort of illness. That's my hope. Hopefully it's not something long-term, because he is going to be a key to our success in the playoffs. And the Leafs end up making it 3-0. It's Pierre Engvall. Great play, beating Edmondson wide, just like he got beat wide last night by Alex Formenton. It's got to be fixed. I mentioned that in my video. The Habs got to find a way to not be getting beat wide in the offensive zone, because again, teams are going to exploit us, and Engvall did there. Great goal from him. He cashes in on his own rebound, but Caden Primo absolutely cannot, for one, let that rebound out, but then let that goal in at that tough of an angle. Tough night for the kid, but he's got plenty more to show what he can do. Leafs end up making it 4-0 after that. A goal from Mitch Marner. That was an absolute beauty. The skill there to dangle past a few guys and score. 19 goals on the season for him now, all even strength. That's very impressive. Love the way Mitch Marner plays the game. We go into the second, and the Habs finally play with some heart and come back. For the next 40 minutes, it seemed to me like the Habs were, the better team, or at least, playing on par with the Leafs, who are fresh and mostly healthy, just missing Hyman and Foligno, who hasn't really been that really an impressive ad for them so far. I mean, I like the ad, but just hasn't made a massive impact for them, other than maybe some leadership here and there. And Jake Allen starts the second, and the Habs do end up making it 4-1 off a goal from Cole Caulfield, assisted by Corey Perry, the old man to the young man. Great pass through the slot, and Caulfield's not going to make a mistake when you put it on his tape like that. We go into the third period, make it 4-2, Lehkonen banging in a rebound. Then the Habs actually have a chance to tie it up on the power play. They make a few different plays. Caulfield absolutely has changed the dynamic of our power play. He's so comfortable out there. I love his board passes back up to the point. He really knows how to use his angles to keep the play going. And he had a really strong third period. Once he got dropped down 5-on-5 to that fourth line, he started being selfish, and I love that, because I mean, he's playing with Eric Stahl, and if he's the guy that's trying to support you out there, he's really not going to do much in the way of supporting, because he's just useless out there. I mean, I cannot wait until the Habs hopefully have the luxury of being healthy enough to pull him out of the lineup, because other than winning draws and then the odd battle in the corners, he offers absolutely nothing to this team. Again, no disrespect. He's a legend in the game of hockey, but we have many more players who can impact the game in a much more, useful way than Eric Stahl has so far. The puck dies on his stick. He's a giveaway machine in the offensive zone. He missed a couple tap-in goals tonight. Just not good. And it's unfortunate that we're stuck playing him, but it is what it is at this point. Matthews then makes it 5-2 on the night with a snipe, posting in far side, down low on Jake Allen. Great goal for him, his 40th of the season. That's in 49 games. What a season Austin Matthews is putting together. Hopefully he doesn't disappear in the playoffs like he always does, just, putting a couple multi-point games up here and there and then just going invisible. The Habs actually do a fairly good job shutting him down. They have so far this season for the most part. He's not lighting us up like he has other teams. He'll score the odd goal here and there, but I think once we get healthy into the playoffs, it'll be interesting to see him getting easily frustrated. Like we kind of saw a bit tonight when he's got a 20-year-old Alex Romanov playing the body on him. He's going to face a lot more of that from us in the playoffs, and once we get him off his game, the Habs are laughing. Before I let you go, I'm doing my best to support Dom Ducharme as head coach, and honestly, at this point, Bergevin I think is back next season, regardless of what happens. This team's making the playoffs. I mean, other than us losing for the rest of the season, our last 3 games, and Calgary winning every single one of their games, the Montreal Canadiens will be in the playoffs. So Marc Bergevin will be back next season. Dom Ducharme, on the other hand, earning that full-time coaching position, I'm not so sure, but I would not be surprised to see him back as well. And I'm doing my best to support him as coach, but some of his decisions out there, I don't know if it's still because of cap implications or roster size or what, but just the constant line juggling, it's getting really confusing. I'm sure the players almost feel that way. His decision to start Allen against Ottawa when Allen was likely tired and Primo was fresh didn't make any sense at all. If you start Primo last night, I think you might have the fresher goalie, and then Allen's rested for the game tonight. I mean, that just didn't make sense to me, and it kind of played out exactly how it should. Just kind of how this game played out exactly how it should, with the Habs being short guys, exhausted, and the Leafs fresh and their talent winning out. It is what it is. That's what happened tonight. And like I said, I could care less because we got another one Saturday night against them. Hopefully, it's more of a legitimate preview of what's going to happen in the playoffs. I'd like to see both teams, but especially the Habs, play with some more intensity, really take a chunk out of the Leafs. And, maybe Weber coming back, it will be a huge help for that. Maybe Carey Price as well. Gallagher obviously won't be back before the end of the season, but it is what it is, guys. Let me know what you thought about this game down in the comments. I'm still very confident this Habs team can give the Leafs a run for their money and quite likely knock them out in round one of the playoffs, like what happens to them every single year. Again, let me know what you thought about this game down in the comments. Cheers, guys. And by the way, Pavel Buchnevich getting suspended, that's an absolute joke. I was not expecting that whatsoever. I mean, to stick up for Buchnevich, it looked to me like he only had one hand on his stick, and he went to punch Mantha, and the stick kind of rode high. To me, that's a high sticking penalty at most, maybe a fine. The fact that, Tom Wilson skirts free for what he did to Buchnevich, and my opinion on the Panner and stuff, I think that's overblown. But Tom Wilson should have got some kind of suspension. So the fact that Buchnevich gets 1 game, and then, on a cross check to the face, which we've seen Gallagher take from Chara, from Niskanen as well last year in the playoffs, and they don't get suspensions. It's an absolute joke. Find some consistency in the NHL. Those are blatant, very comparable incidences with cross checks to the face. Both times for us, for Gallagher, we've seen it, and Buchnevich ends up getting suspended where the guy's doing it to Gallagher doesn't. It's a fucking joke. Like, figure it out, man. Anyway, cheers, guys. Go Habs, go. We'll see you Saturday night for that one.